I'm Caitlin. I'm the Director of Youth and Congregational Life here at Grace. So today is our Sunday school lesson on Friday. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through the Gospel from John that we're going to hear on Sunday. We're going to explain a few things a bit, and then our project for today is that we're going to be doing some shadow art. So I'm going to take you through the process that I did to make my own art today. So first things first, the gospel that we're going to hear on Sunday is John chapter 14, verses 15 through 21. And in past weeks, normally I do a different translation just because there's some things normally in our readings that are hard for our younger members to understand. So sometimes it's better to read from our story Bible or an easier translation. But today I'm going to go through some of the trickier things to understand. So that's why I'm sticking with the NRSV version today, the New Revised Standard Version. So we'll read through it quick and then we'll go through those tricky parts for you. All right, here we go. If you love me, you will keep my commandments, and I will ask the Father, and he will give you another advocate to be with you forever. This is the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it neither sees him or knows him. You know him because he abides with you, and he will be in you. I will not leave you orphaned. I am coming to you. In a little while, the world will no longer see me, but you will see me. Because I live, you will also live. On that day, you will know that I am in my Father, and you in me, and I in you. They who have my commandments and keep them are those who love me. And those who love me will be loved by my Father, and I will love them and reveal myself to them. All right, so there's a whole lot going on here. So first things first, this is another time in, especially the Gospel of John, Jesus does this a lot, where he's kind of foretelling his death. So he tries to give the disciples all sorts of warnings, all sorts of knowledge that what's going to happen to him. We already know, because this is 2,000 years ago, that Jesus does end up dying, but in the end he comes back. And in a few weeks, we'll actually hear the story about Jesus' ascension, where after Easter, he is on the earth, but then he ascends into heaven. So there's all sorts of things that Jesus does in this. But the point that Jesus is making here, that even though he only has a limited time on earth, that we have the Holy Spirit to be with us always and forever. So that's basically what he's getting at here. So, but the trick is, what exactly is the Holy Spirit? Now, Lutherans, like us at Grace, are notoriously bad about talking about the Holy Spirit and what it really is. So first, there are a few things we know about the Holy Spirit through the Bible itself. For instance, the biggest story is the story we're going to hear in a few weeks on Pentecost. So Pentecost is when the apostles, so the apostles are all of Jesus's friends, the disciples, and all these people who come together, the first believers in the church. They're the ones that get the word across, the apostles. So this is one of their very first stories where they're all together and the Holy Spirit comes in, but it appears as a little flame on the top of their heads, kind of just like, and then with that too, the story goes that they all start talking in different languages. So that's kind of a little preview that they're going to go all over the world and spread this news about Jesus to anyone and everyone. So the Spirit really is this kind of kick in their pants to kind of get them going. It's really their partner in helping spread this good news. And that's the same with us too. The Holy Spirit is what's working within us to help build our own faith. So if you get to confirmation, we'll talk about that a little bit more too. There's all sorts of things on the complexity of what the Holy Spirit really is. And so basically that's one of the things, because we know faith is really hard, but the Holy Spirit is what is working with us to help build that. So then stemming out of that is how we build communities of faith. So that's like our community here at Grace. So these communities, when they come together in faith, then go out and help share their faith with the world and help do God's work in the world. And that's exactly what we want to do here at Grace. So all of that is really us working with the Holy Spirit to get things done. So really, the Holy Spirit's like our partner in crime. Last week we talked about living stones and how we are the stones that are being used to build God's kingdom. So really you can think about the Holy Spirit as kind of the glue or the mortar that puts those stones together, helps us come together in faith. So Holy Spirit can be more complex than that, but those are the basics of what you need to know. So, and with this story today, we hear that the Holy Spirit is always with us. So to kind of explore that idea, what we're going to do today is we are making shadow art. Because if you have ever played with your shadow, you know that your shadow is with you no matter what. See, you can probably see here a little bit. You can see my shadow on the wall. It's always there. It doesn't leave me. So it's kind of like that. And granted, there are some days where it's pretty cloudy and it's kind of hard to see your shadow. But every time that sun comes out, it's right there and never leaves. You can't do anything to get rid of it. So that's kind of like us with the Holy Spirit. There are some times where it's really hard for us to find the Holy Spirit in our lives. But then there are other times where it's so bright and obvious that we can't escape it. So what we're going to do, the best option for shadow art, in my opinion, from what I've seen, is to go outside on a sunny day with your family or whoever you're with in this shelter and home order, because some households have various people in them. I'm really glad we're able to still be able to have communities in this. But anyways, go outside and on a sunny day, take some chalk and find your own shadow and have your friends trace out the outline of your shadow, and you'll switch that too and do the outlines of their shadows. And then you take those shadows and then color them and make them beautiful. But since I want to keep my friends and family safe, I don't want anyone to come over and do chalk outlines of me, so I have a second option that I was able to do on my own. So what I did is I took a lamp, I took a sheet of paper here, I have my pencil, and then I took a little toy. I got a nice little lion here, and then I made a little outline of that. So this is what we need to do. So this is the first step that I did. So you can see the outline there. So basically what you need to do is put your little figurine that you want to trace your outline of. It can be anything as long as it fits on the sheet of paper. Just put it on the very, very edge of the paper. Because see here, you'll see he would just stand about right there. So, and then make sure your light is angled at the right way. I would say, depending on how your overlight is, I would use a lamp. That's what I did, is that I had a lamp positioned kind of directly at the my little lion friend here. So then that way, what I did is I went on the opposite side of the lamp, so I faced it, and then I did the outline. So I will say mine was kind of tricky in the legs, so just be really careful of that. Maybe find an easier figure than I did. If you want to, you can tape it up to the wall and you can do like shadow puppets and do it that way. There's all sorts of things you can do. But the cool thing is when you can outline the shadow itself. Because then what you can do with it is you can turn it into a nice little picture. You can color it, make it a whole little thing. So granted, is mine the prettiest lion in the world? No, probably not. But it's colorful, it's something I did. It's kind of cool with the little different angles of the shadow, and plus, I can't draw at all. Anyway, so this is going to be the best drawing of lion you will ever see from me. So, that's our cool little project today. So, if you go outside and make your own shadow art, feel free to leave a picture in the comments or email me the pictures that you made. And I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. And then I will see you all on Sunday.